Hi folks, this is Dr. Rex Gatto, a business psychologist. In our webinar, we are going to discuss physicians and other medical caregivers and how we can control stress. We will be examining our positive and negative thoughts and learn how to expand our thinking in a very positive way. I'd like to start with the concept of self-coaching for self-care. Self-coaching is a way to have self-reflection, ask yourself questions. For example, when you are driving a car and you're all alone, those questions and thoughts that you have about yourself. Other authors have talked about self-coaching as the ability to be mindful, focusing on our own beliefs, our own stories. So I like to say everyone has a story. Others have gone on to say that self-coaching is an awareness that we create within ourselves and how we look at the world, hopefully in a non-judgmental way. Stress and burnout. In the late 1940s and 50s, Hans Selye, a physician, talked about stress, and he talked about flight or fight. We know that stress impacts us mentally, emotionally, and physically. We know that it also changes our body and our hormonal levels, for example, cortisol. So we've got to make sure that we understand stress for ourselves and within our own bodies. Do you ever feel that the clouds are rolling in? If you look at this picture, maybe the negative thoughts that we ruminate. We need to challenge those negative thoughts with positive thoughts. The negative thoughts can create a negative view of ourselves, and we worry about ourselves and our own competence. And we worry about the future, which creates anxieties, hopelessness, and we also know suicidal rates are high, and we need to address that. We also think of negative experiences, which creates a depressed mood because we continue to work and to challenge ourselves in what we are capable and want to accomplish. Trying to balance our needs. You feel overwhelmed, and that is trying to balance our needs and being responsible. We have a number of patients and requests because of COVID, misinformation, civil unrest. Those are all impacting us. Plus, we have tremendous workloads. Feeling totally overwhelmed. And it's not just one thing, it's a combination of many. Look at this very narrow picture of the ocean. This is a metaphor for a very narrow scope, a narrow vista. Our job is to expand that. A lot of times people say, oh, Rex, you're a psychologist, you're a shrink. And I say, no, my job is that of an expander. I don't want to change people's minds. I do want to expand people's minds and find positive ways in which they can think. Here is a way for you to focus in on stopping stress and burnout. I'd like you to write a list and express it any way that you'd like. Write it about work, family, self, and others. In stressful situations, use any language you want. This is for you. After you write the unexpressed, what you want to say, fold up that paper and put it away. Put it in your pocket, a drawer, or a private folder. Leave it for a day, maybe two, then go back and look at what you wrote. You can add to the list anything that you would like. If something no longer bothers you, you can put a line through it. And when you are ready, you can rip up that paper. As long as when you rip it up and throw it in the garbage, you are also throwing away those worries. Think of what it is that you need to do so that you do not panic. Be mindful. Don't focus on doom and gloom. Be positive. Think of a way in which you can address stressors. Recognize the behaviors that cause you stress. We also know that stress causes irritability or anger or temper, excessive eating or drinking, worrying about trying to help every patient. Reality is, you will be able to help a lot of patients, but not every patient. Turn challenges into opportunities for yourself and collaborate with others and help others to collaborate with you. Self-coaching, make sure that you eat right. Get enough sleep. Going to bed at 3 o'clock and getting up at 6 is not enough sleep. Drink plenty of water and get exercise. Go for short walks. Talk with friends and family. Express what is in your mind, heart, and intuitively think. Don't take on too much. I know that's easy for me to say, but try not to take on too much. Give support to yourself, give support to others. Recognize the signs of stress. Please also note that under stress, sometimes people have difficulty concentrating, making decisions. They become irritable, headaches. Recognize that. Help yourself. Use some of the techniques that I will give you today. Another aspect of coaching, self-coaching, is the I did list. How do you walk out of work? Do you walk out of work thinking about all the things that you didn't get to, or what you did get to, what you actually accomplished, and how you have helped people? Here is another way to think of burnout. Put up your two hands, palms together, as though you were praying. Now, push the left against the right and the right against the left. Push, push, push. This is the mental energy that goes on with emotion and negative thinking. Push. Now put your right hand down. Push with your left. You notice there's no resistance. Think about how exhausted you are at the end of the day. It's because the left hand is pushing against the right, meaning emotion against emotion, emotion against emotion. And that's pushing anger. I should have, I should not have. Hate, upsettedness, questioning of whether or not I should even be in this profession as a medical caregiver. Use this as a metaphor for understanding how emotions impact you and how you become exhausted at the end of a day. This is something that I use. I call it T-RED. Take time for yourself. Take time for yourself. Talk with people. Don't just keep it bottled up within you. Talk with a colleague, but talk with people. Read. Write the journal that I talked about a little earlier of the points that upset you. Write it down. Exercise. Listen to music. We know that music actually lessens stress. Do deep breathing exercise. Relax. Meditate. Close your eyes. Give yourself a few minutes. At the end of the day, how do you end your day? Is your day peaceful? Is it focused on ruminating negative thoughts? Are you trying to organize and get ready for the next day? How do you end your day? Important thought. Stop trying to fix everything. Set reasonable goals for yourself. Take time in the AM and the PM. I suggest 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the afternoon, just for you. Even if you have to go to the men's or ladies' room and take time for yourself. Just take time for yourself. Ask for support and give support to coworkers, friends, and family. A new day is coming. A new day. Positive affirmation for the day. Think about that every day. What is my positive affirmation? What is my goal? How can I help others and help myself today? Here's another format. Situation, cause, outcome, and behavioral action. Think of the thought. What causes your stress? What are the negative thoughts around your stress? The situation and cause. What's the situation in which you find yourself? And what is the cause of stress? And what are your cause of your negative thoughts? Outcome. Self-coaching and self-care. What is the best, worst outcome based on the situation and the cause? Reflect on actions, realistic actions that you can take. Behavioral actions to make a difference. Situation, cause, outcome, behavioral action. You could fill this in. and show this to others. It could be beneficial to lessening their stress. Look at this beautiful tree. I hope it helps you to think of beauty. Think of each petal that has fallen as a good act that you have accomplished in your life. Take a deep breath and think of all of the acts that you have done to help yourself and others. Another format, advantages and disadvantages. Advantages for taking action, advantages for not. Disadvantages for taking action, disadvantages for not. Here's the example. Advantages for an employee: work toward change and self-care. I feel better. But here are advantages for not doing that. Loss of work time. Now, what are the disadvantages? Disadvantages for the employee toward change. Hey, it may not work. I could waste time. Disadvantages for the employee not to work toward taking change. Stress increases. This is a way to look north, east, south, and west. Look at those four again. Advantages for taking action, advantages for not taking action. Disadvantages for taking action, disadvantages for not taking action. This is a good model that can help you to think through action points and make effective decisions. A new day is coming. A new day is coming. A way to prepare mentally for that next day. Beautiful vista, beautiful thoughts. The key to people and their capacity. I want you to think of the difference between recovery and resilience. Recovery, somebody breaks a leg, they will recover. Resilient, will they get back to that same level without fear? Resilience, having the ability and a very positive view of life. Here's another technique. I'd like you to divide a piece of paper in half, and on the left-hand side, write the energizers, things that motivate you. On the right-hand side, de-energizers, drainers. Stop and reflect. This is a great tip to help you to look at the buzz at work or the drainers at work. Down below the page, who inspires you and why? Focus on your energizers and create a plan to overcome the drainers. Look at this vista. This is an expansion. No longer are we looking at the world through that small door. We are expanding our thoughts, open our thoughts to a new world, expanding our thoughts to acceptance and goodness. Don't focus on the past and the realities of the past. Focus on the possibilities of the future and ask yourself, what is it that I can do to become the best version of myself, the best version of me? What is it that you want? What do your patients want from you? What does the hospital want from you? What is the best version of you? Ladies and gentlemen, please use these tips to help to self-coach you and have a better quality of life, and to help others do the same. If I can be of service to you, my numbers are on the left-hand side, along with my email and website. I wish you the very best and positive thinking.